And we welcome you to Millett Hall on the campus of Miami University in Oxford, Ohio this evening for a women's basketball matchup in the Mid-American Conference. The Northern Illinois Huskies in Oxford to take on the RedHawks from Miami. So glad you're with us on Red Hawk Radio this evening. Patrick Geshan with you for this one tonight. A Miami RedHawks team coming in, losing their last one, an 86-72 bout with Buffalo at Millett Hall here on Saturday. They come in 3-1 at home on the year, 7-6 overall, 0-1 in the Mid-American Conference, and their opponent tonight comes in on a 3-game losing streak. Northern Illinois in a 2-game road trip to begin conference play. They fell to the Bobcats of Ohio on Saturday by a score of 87-67 in Athens. A team looking to bounce back and grab MAC win number one. Both of these teams actually looking to grab MAC win number one on the evening today. We'll have our starting lineups and national anthem here from Millett Hall right now, and then our opening tip-off, Miami and NIU, coming up in just a moment on Red Hawk Radio. Let's join the Millett Hall public address. Here's Scott Schreiber.
Good evening. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Millett Hall for this evening's Mid-American Conference matchup between the visiting Northern Illinois Huskies and your Miami RedHawks. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you all to rise and remove your hats and join us as tonight we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to introduce tonight's starting lineups. Beginning with the visiting Huskies of Northern Illinois, and starting at guard for the Huskies tonight, number 4, Courtney Woods. Also at guard, wearing number 15, Grace Hunter. And number 23, Maya Starks. Starting tonight at forward is number 12, Riley Blackwell, along with number 34, Allie May, and the rest of the Huskies. The assistant coaches at NIU include Alexis Lawrence and James Stewart. The associate head coach is Ellen Tandez, and the head coach in her 5th season with the Huskies is Lisa Carlson.
Step back, looking at 3 on the way, and now record holder. Hawk with 3 in a row. With a rebound, turns, fires, scores, and we'll get the and one.
When they get in trouble, they be calling us. We know that just like warriors. We get it going, no stopping us. Cause we the ones they've been waiting for. Cause we the ones they've been waiting for. Up, and away we go. Cause we the ones they've been waiting for.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineup for your Miami RedHawks. Starting at guard for the Hawks tonight is the 5'8" freshman out of Lynchburg, Ohio, number 25, Peyton Scott. junior guard hailing from London, England. Wearing number 0, Monique Esbrand. The 5'3" senior from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 13, Lauren Dickerson. And starting at forward for the RedHawks, a 6-foot redshirt junior coming from St. Peters, Missouri, number 35, Abby Hoff. And a 6'2" senior out of St. Charles, Missouri, number 32, Savannah Cleaster. And the rest of your Miami RedHawks. Video Operations Director.
All right, so there are your starting lineups for tonight's game for Northern Illinois. Just to repeat, number 4, Courtney Woods will start. Sewell, number 12, Riley Blackwell, number 15, Grace Hunter, number 23, Maya Starks, and number 34, Allie May. For Miami, the home team tonight, it'll be number 0, Monique Esbrand, number 13, Lauren Dickerson, number 25, Peyton Scott, number 32, Savannah Kleesner, and number 35, Abby Hoff. As Lauren Dickerson will receive a special basketball at half court now. Dickerson in the game on Saturday set the career record for field goals made, 689 field goals for Dickerson. That's her career record and also the most field goals made in program history. She got presented a special commemorative basketball by head coach Deanna Hendricks at half court here just before the game at Millett Hall. As Lauren Dickerson, the offensive player to watch for the RedHawks tonight, averaging 17.2 points per game, leading the team coming into the game tonight. NIU is in their road black uniforms, red numbers, red trim. Miami, their home whites with red numbers, red trim, red letters. As the RedHawks move right to left across the radio offensively here to begin this contest tonight from Millett Hall. Northern Illinois will move left to right. A very lightly attended game this evening here in Oxford. About 281 was the attendance for the game on Saturday. I'd say this is about 200 people. If you are comparing, waiting for TV to give the signal to begin the game, and we are set and ready to go here from Oxford. Savannah Kleesner squares off in the opening tip with Riley Blackwell of NIU, and RedHawks win it, get it to the offensive end of the floor pretty quickly. Monique Esbrand for Miami, baseline charge from the left side, got it to the far corner. Peyton Scott, 2 left-hand dribbles, and back to the top of the key. The RedHawks go for Dickerson, who will hold here with 13 to shoot. Dickerson pass to the free throw line, give and go with Scott. Now they get it back to the near side, a jumper from the corner, missed by Abby Hoff, and back the other way comes NIU. Huskies with a right wing on the floor. Riley Blackwell to the left side. Courtney Woods gave it to Grace Hunter. Now a jumper top of the key is good, and that's actually a three-pointer by Allie May. Shooting 33.3% from outside the arc this year. Breaks the ice to give the Huskies the 3-0 lead here early on. Rucks with the ball offensive side of the floor. Kleesner, top of the key, gave it far side. Baseline charge, Scott gave up on a pass going back to the left wing. It was intercepted by Maya Starks, who takes it back to the way for NIU. Pass to the near side, Blackwell. Back to the top of the key, cross corner to the far side, Woods. Dribbling it through the paint, cutting to the middle of the floor. Off the glass with the right arm, no good. Rebound picked up by Blackwell. Her putback missed too far right. Dickerson, a long stretch pass under the Miami offensive hoop. They gave it to Abby Hoff with an up and under with the right arm. It's good off the glass. 3-2 NIU, the early lead. 90 seconds in. As the Huskies work it back outside the arc. Left side, a three-pointer gets stuck between the rim and the backboard. Off the hands of Courtney Woods. Will stop play here with 8:28 to go in the first. As a moment that you see sometimes in basketball, but not that often. The ball getting stuck between the glass and the iron. So the stoppage here will give NIU an offensive rebound far side of the baseline. It's given to May, and then back to the inbounder. Maya Starks for a jumper on the left elbow, which is good. Maya Starks on the board for NIU, giving them a 5-2 lead. Dickerson with the ball. Back to the far side, Monique Esbrand. Waits for the RedHawks. Top of the key, Dickerson. Gave it off for Hoff. Pass down low, wide open under the hoop. Kleesner, two-handed push off the glass and in. As the NIU defense that time with a lapse in coverage. 5-4, Huskies lead it. 7:55 to go in the first quarter. Glad you're with us in Millett Hall. NIU trying to go cross-court offensive end of the floor. Allie May looking over for Grace Hunter. That pass couldn't connect. Hunter dropped it and let it go out of bounds. Hawks with an inbound, and we'll take it across the timeline here. Dickerson, far side, Esbrand on the right wing. Holds outside the arc, back for Dickerson, top of the key. Cutting to the far side, hit the brakes, back to the left wing. Hoff, far side, Esbrand tries a wide open three, it's good! Monique Esbrand gives the RedHawks a 7-5 lead, their first of the day. NIU another cross-court pass. Riley Blackwell, top of the key, back to the near side. Gave it off for Amaya Starks. Blackwell, right elbow pass to Woods. Cross court to the far corner. May, top of the key, right wing for Woods. 7 to shoot for NIU. Woods trying to charge. Now she cut to the baseline. Angled off by Hoff. Pass to the free throw line, picked off. Dickerson, fast break the other way. Lauren Dickerson reaches the paint off the glass and in. She was defended there by Allie May, but Dickerson able to get the shot off without much defense. And here's Maya Starks for NIU. Pass top of the key. Finds Courtney Woods. Hits the brakes. Free throw line jumper good. She was shadowed there by Esbrand, who gave her up when the basket went in from Courtney Woods. Esbrand far side of the floor for the RedHawks. Offensive end. Launches off at three. Too hard. Rebound though right in the hands of Abby Hoff. Works her way to the right edge of the paint. Off the glass, but too hard. NIU picks up that rebound. Courtney Woods left wing. Quick pass down low and charging to the left side of the paint. Blackwell caught it with both arms and put it in for an extra two. Now Scott with a three-pointer for the RedHawks. They're moving quickly here at Oxford. That came from the left wing and it was in and out. NIU returns to the offensive end of the floor. Far corner, it was Courtney Woods. Pass back up top, intercepted by Dickerson. Little fast break the other way. Miami a 3-on-2. Dickerson slows it down at the free throw line. Top of the key, Kleesner. Near side, Esbrand. Charge down the near baseline. Far corner pass. It's Peyton Scott. Resets for the corner three. That missed. That was too short from Scott. NIU returns to the right side of the floor. Here's Grace Hunter. The far side three from her is good. Got a pass from the quarterback of the offense, which was Riley Blackwell that time. NIU returns with a 10-9 lead. 5.5 to go in the first from Millett. Lauren Dickerson had it top of the key. Gave it off for Peyton Scott. Bounce pass to the far side. Kleesner launches off the free throw line shot. That missed. Too far right. We get a whistle here as the ball went out of bounds after the shot. A lot of substitutions. That was our first whistle in a long time. NIU will bring 3 players out. RedHawks bringing out Abby Hoff. And it appears they have put in Bree Paulson into the game for the first time today. NIU charged down the middle of the lane. It was broken up. Gabby McKinte had it. Back to the far side. A jumper missed, and a rebound is put in for 2 off the hands of Aja Davis. 3 came in from Starks on the left side. Davis, 2 hands to pick up the rebound, right edge of the post, and bank it off the glass in for 2. Dickerson back to the top of the key for Peyton Scott. Miami here forced to bring it back out as Scott held up at half court. Has to pass to Dickerson on the right wing. They got 12 to shoot. Ball still outside the arc. Dickerson launches it to the near corner. Esbrand with a 3. That missed. And the ball was up in the air for a second. NIU able to pick up the rebound. Esbrand's 3 was too hard. Shelby Coker back the other way. NIU 3 from the near side. Too hard by McKinte. And the Huskies here pick it up. Work it to the left wing and launch a 3. Shelby Coker put it in for a triple. NIU 15, Miami 9 early on. 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes, 40 seconds for the Huskies. RedHawks have been scoreless in the last 3 minutes. Dickerson, right elbow jumper, that's it. Off the glass and good for Lauren Dickerson, who will pick up points 3 and 4 on the day for her. Starks for NIU, waits and dribbles at half court. 3:50 to go in the first. 15-11 NIU, the early lead from Millett. Pass to the near side for the Huskies, offensive end of the floor. Gabby McKinte got it inside, and near the post. They get it to the far end. Aja Davis came in and knocked over Kelly McLaughlin on a baseline charge. It's going to be an offensive foul on NIU and bring us to immediate timeout with 3:40 to go in the first. Huskies lead it by a score of 15-11 early on from Millett Hall. This is Miami basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Three minutes, 40 seconds are left in quarter number one here from Millett Hall. Patrick Geshan back with you here on this Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us on Red Hawk Radio. Northern Illinois 15, Miami 11 in this MAC women's basketball matchup early on. RedHawks shooting 5 for 12 from the field, 41.7%. Huskies 6 for 13, 46.2%. RedHawks have the ball offensively here after the timeout. Dickerson top of the key to the freshman Peyton Scott. Got it to Paulson, pass to the far side. Dickerson almost had it knocked away by Starks, but regains control. Top of the key three, Paulson launches it too hard. Rebound picked up under the hoop by McLaughlin. She had it for a second, then lost control, went off the hands of Michaela Brandon, the NIU defender down there, and out of bounds off the Huskies. So the RedHawks with an inbound coming with 20 to shoot. 3:19 is left here in quarter number one. Dickerson will inbound it, two hands to Paulson near corner. Back up top to Peyton Scott. Scott holds here, pass it near side. Dickerson came from down low, back up high to catch the pass, had to hit the brakes back the way to the basket. Scott gets the pass far side, cross-court feed. Paulson launches left wing three, it's good. And they say she was behind the line too, it looked close. That one in with 5 to shoot, took a bounce at the far side of the iron. Went up in the air about 2 feet, then dropped through for Paulson. Still a 10-2 run for NIU in the last 4 minutes. Huskies with the ball far side, back to the top of the key, launching a three there, and that's good. Shelby Coker off the bench for the Huskies is 2 for 2 in the three-point department tonight. She's got 6 points. And the score now 18-14, Huskies on top. Dickerson far side, launches a right arm pass under the hoop. McLaughlin, near corner Scott, caught it out of the air, baseline drive, right arm shot no good, picks it up, Macklow in the paint. McLaughlin far side jumper too hard, tipping around for the rebound was Nikinte. She got it back to her teammate Shelby Coker, who takes it across the timeline for NIU. Pass to the near wing, Brandon. Top of the key to Kinte. Far side, Coker. She was outside the arc trying to make a drive in, but an extra step before the dribble and a travel against NIU. Esperan, Amani Freeman, and Savannah Kleeser will come in for Miami. And Courtney Woods and Allie May will arrive in the game for NIU. Substitutions with 2 minutes to go here in the first. Dickerson far side, far corner for Miami, working it back to the near wing. Esperan outside the arc, high three, hit the far side of the iron, was way off the mark. NIU picks it up on the board. Far side, Shelby Coker, drive down the middle of the lane, got directed to the near side, and a pass for a corner three, and missed by Brandon. Rebound picked up right side of the iron by Dickerson. Drive down the lane for Miami, coast to coast, off the glass on her layup attempt. Back the other way, 2-on-1 for the Huskies. Here is Maya Starks, a layup attempt, that time that missed. She came down 2 against 1, decided not to pass it. Coker was with her on the rush. And Maya Starks went off the glass in the right side of the iron with the layup. Didn't drop through. So NIU here will actually inbound, as I guess the ball they said went off of Miami. Riley Blackwell, near side for NIU. Has the ball offensive end of the floor. Pass to the middle, picked off. That's Brand, the only one there for the RedHawks under their own hoop. She tried to feed Scott, trailing down the right wing near the NIU bench. She passed too far in front of her. And that'll stop play here for a Miami turnover with a 1:15 to go in the first. NIU the inbound. And they'll take it across the timeline here to the offensive side of the floor. Top of the key, the Huskies have it. Grace Hunter. Back to the far side, Courtney Woods returns in the lane. A right-handed hook shot there, good by Allie May. It gives the Huskies a 6-point lead, 20-14. 50 seconds are left in the first. And we get a whistle here. Peyton Scott was dribbling the ball across the floor, but her shoe was untied, so the referee stopped play. And Scott has to come out. And Lauren Dickerson, who was just taken out of the game in the last whistle, is forced to come back in. As they work on Scott on the Miami bench. Either her shoe is untied or she's bleeding. I think she was bleeding. The trainer putting on a glove now, looking at something near her ankles. So Dickerson back in, catches the inbound here. RedHawks have 20 to shoot, 44 to go in the first quarter. Esperan top of the key for Miami. Gives it off, standing right next to her was Abby Hoff. Down low, Kleeser works her way to the MacLogue with the paint and fires off a left-handed shot, nothing but net for 2 points, and it's 20-16 NIU. 26 seconds left in the first. Standing at half court, Gabby Nikinte. Dribbling the ball, right arm to left arm. Dickerson defends her, shot clock 13, game clock 15. Left in the first quarter here. It starts to the ball now, handed it off to Courtney Woods. We get a whistle. It's a 3-second violation on NIU. As Maya Starks was down there too long, I believe. 10.5 seconds to go in the first. And the RedHawks will take across town line here. Shot clock is off. They'll get the final shot. Dickerson, left wing drive, and a jumper there. She pulled up left elbow and got it through. NIU will have no time to respond. That does it for the first quarter, and a very close first quarter in that. The Huskies leading it by a score of 20-18 after 10 minutes here from Millett Hall this evening. So the RedHawks will see if they can bounce back after a pretty slow start here in the first frame. Your second quarter call coming up in a moment. This is Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Ready to begin the second quarter play here from Millett Hall this evening. Patrick Geshan with you here. Glad you're with us on Red Hawk Radio. As the RedHawks continue to move right to left across the radio here in quarter number 2. They trail NIU by a score of 20-18. And an inbound pass to Lauren Dickerson will get things going here in the second frame. Dickerson far side of the floor, baseline charge, trying to go down low. McLaughlin, the pass was picked off and back the other way. Blackwell for NIU. Charging up the right wing, hit the brakes at the arc. Back for Courtney Woods. Blackwell return pass near corner 3, in and out for the Huskies. Kleesner picked up the rebound under the hoop, gave it for Dickerson over the timeline left wing. Dickerson holds up top of the key. Far side, bounce pass. Back to the left wing now, it's Abby Hoff. Esperant dribbles near side with a right arm. Returns to Hoff top of the key, then back for Dickerson half court. Lauren Dickerson to the near side. 6 to shoot. Hoff top of the key. Highly defended by Blackwell. Got it. Room for a right lane drive. Went off the glass. No good. And then NIU back the other way. Pushing it up the floor. Geraltz to the far side. Little charge in here from Grace Hunter. Back to the near wing. Corner jumper. In and out from Mija Starks. And an offensive board picked up here by the Huskies. Woods back to the far side. A 3 there. Launched too hard by Grace Hunter. And here comes Abby Hoff back to the near side for the RedHawks offensive end of the floor. Gave it off under the hoop. Kleesner. Far corner pass Esperant. Back to the far side. Dickerson launches a 3. It's an air ball short. And the whistle here will come with the ball going out of bounds. NIU will get it back with 8:37 to go here in the second. Starks will get the inbound pass from Riley Blackwell. Miami as a team 1 for 8 in their last 8 3-point attempts. And that was a struggle in the game against Buffalo the other day as well. They are 2 for 9 tonight from 3-point land. NIU working the ball to the paint. Blackwell to the right elbow. Right-handed hook shot missed short. Rebound picked up by Miami. Abby Hoff feeds up the wing. The left side for Dickerson. Into the arc. Back for Hoff. Kleesner standing at the free throw line. Near side shot from the corner. It was a jumper missed there off the hands of Schmitz. Kenzie Schmidt's first touch of the game for the RedHawks. NIU returns the ball down the right side of the floor, and it goes up and in. Courtney Woods put it up with the right hand and in. That's Greg Crawford you hear barking at the refs. Top of the key 3 was missed for Miami by Peyton Scott. We get a whistle here for an offensive foul, and the RedHawks going after the rebound. And I'm not sure who exactly that was on, but the layup, when you heard the crowd reaction from Geraltz. Fans thought she pushed her way past one of the Miami defenders to get the basket off, but no call. So here come the Huskies back the other way. It's Geraltz here, top of the key, pass to the far side. It was Hunter who had it. And I'm not sure here what's going on. Get a whistle, I guess an offensive foul on Miami. Or a defensive foul, rather. RedHawks are defending. They make a substitution on the stoppage. Alexa Straw in for Schmitz. And NIU with the ball far side of the floor, 18 to shoot. Near wing, they get it back. May, far corner. Courtney Woods controls. Top of the key, Hunter trying to make a charge on the right side of the lane, but get a whistle here for a travel. So that stops it here with 7:25 to go in the second. NIU 22, Miami 18. Dickerson over the timeline, right wing for the RedHawks. Hits the brakes at the arc. Esperant top of the key. Dribbles between the left and right arm. Cut toward the left side. Back to the point, Paulson. Now a pass to the far corner. Coming in there for a little baseline charge. Kleesner pulled up in the MAC logo, but missed the hook shot with the left arm. NIU returns the ball offensive end of the floor. Grace Hunter, top of the key, handed off to Starks. Returns to Woods. Right elbow, a pass for Allie May. Trying to work her way to the free throw line. Gave it off left wing Blackwell. Charge on the left side of the lane, and she got fouled. A little shot with the right arm. The ball rolled around the rim, but came down. So no and one that time for NIU, but there will be 2 free throws coming here for Riley Blackwell. Number 12 in black, the 6'1" junior out of Plainfield, Illinois. As Grace Hunter will come out of the game for the Huskies, limping a little bit on her left leg. So she will see the trainer coming out of the game. Blackwell will watch a pair of free throws here. The first one too hard. Blackwell, a 64.3% free throw shooter coming in. 7.1 points per game on the year for her. NIU's last game, Kim, against Ohio, she had 7 points in that. Blackwell 0 for 2 at the line on this trip. Dickerson picked up the ball, took it coast to coast, hands back. Kleesner, the jumper from the free throw line that missed. That's not really her familiar territory, usually under the hoop. Huskies return the other way. Blackwell, pass back for Woods. Far side, the ball moving pretty good. They get it down low, working there. May on Kleesner, try to go up for a right-handed shot in the post. Kleesner blocked it away. Paulson, near side for the RedHawks, launches a three. That's in and out. Rebound picked up by May off the bounce from the iron. Returns to the quarterback of the offense, Shelby Coker. Drive down the right side of the lane. She went all the way down the floor, but stopped in the post and took an extra step. Made contact with Dickerson down there, and we get a whistle for a travel. So Kleesner will come out for Miami. Peyton Scott is in. They bring back in Kelly McLaughlin as well. As Miami scoreless in the last 3.5 minutes here. Top of the key, Alexis Straw, offensive end of the floor. Stretch pass down low. Peyton Scott caught it with 2 arms and put off the glass and in from the left side. Pull this one within 2, 22-20. The Huskies lead at 5:45 to go in the second. Near side Blackwell, pass to the right elbow. Aja Davis on it, and she will hook it up and in for 2. Won the battle there on McLaughlin. As in front of me, Alexis Straw tripping on her own power, and Greg Crawford yelling at the refs. Peyton Scott, far side for Dickerson. Waits in front of the NIU bench. Offensive end of the floor. Dickerson to the middle. Ball stripped from her. Right in the paint. Maxwell returns the other way for NIU. Far side pass for Starks. Walks it back up top. Now a charge from the far corner. They get it back to Starks. As Salmi had it for a second. Starks bouncing the ball with her right arm. Near side Blackwell has the ball. Returns to Starks left wing. Floater inside. They have 10 to shoot. Top the key Woods. Has the ball here high in the air for the Huskies. Cuts to the right, back to the left. Inside Woods had a wide open shot from the right elbow and made it. Just a little flip there from the top of the key, and she fired it right off the glass and in for 2. And the Huskies lead this one 26-20 with 4:43 to go in the second. And a whistle here for the RedHawks with the offensive side of the floor. Peyton Scott had the ball. And Coker is going to be whistling for her first foul for Northern Illinois, and this will bring us to our second quarter media timeout. 4 minutes and 43 seconds are left in quarter number 2. NIU 26, Miami 20. This is Miami basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Blues returning to the floor. 4 minutes, 43 seconds are left here in the second quarter. RedHawks trailing the Huskies of Northern Illinois by a score of 26-20. Patrick Geshan with you here on RedHawk Radio. Glad you're with us this evening. As the RedHawks try to pick up MAC win number 1 on the year. NIU tied for their largest lead of the night with 6 points right now. Their leading scorer is Shelby Coker, who has 6. Also with 6 is Courtney Woods of the night. RedHawks passed it down low to Peyton Scott, offensive end of the floor, but she knocked over number 14 in black, Michaela Brandon, who's in the game for the first time for NIU. And an offensive foul there to Scott. So Northern Illinois back the other way. Here's Nikinte, top of the key, trailing from the left side. Pass to the free throw line. McLaughlin tipped it right though to the hands of Brandon. And then a 3 launched off there by Coker's good. Coker got the ball somehow. I guess Brandon handed it off to her. Top of the key. Shelby Coker up to 9 points of the day. Rocks offensive side here. Peyton Scott near corner. Back up top for Paulson. Returns to Scott near side of the floor. Dribbling between the left and right arm here. Scott top of the key. Shovel pass far side. Travel. Alexis Straw trying to come in from that far side of the floor, and she got 2 extra steps in before they blew the whistle. And we get a whistle here. There's a NIU assistant coach who's going pretty crazy toward, I think, one of his players. And the referee asked him to calm it down a little bit. Kinte top of the key for NIU. Wide open for a 3, too hard. A rebound picked up by Straw under the Miami hoop. Straw with the timeline over the right wing. We'll dribble it here with the right arm. Pass far side. Dickerson walks it back. Top of the key. Launches a 3. Too short. Off the middle of the iron and bounce back out. Starks to the rebound here for NIU. She's up the left wing to the offensive end. Nikinte. Wide open look for a 3 right side. Decided to bring it to the middle, and a free throw line jumper missed from her. Rocks get it under their own hoop. Dickerson picks it up. Dribbles over the line right side. Lauren Dickerson cut toward the left wing. Pass back for Paulson. Wide open 3 look. Off the iron left. NIU a stretch pass to get it up ahead. This is Starks, who walks it over the timeline on the right side to slow things down on offense. 2:55 left here in the second quarter. Huskies with the ball top of the key. Pass to the free throw line, and Kinte has it. And gave it up there. Scott stripped it from her, and she's on a breakaway. Back the other way. Peyton Scott, right-handed layup is good. And Peyton Scott on the night for Miami now has 4 points. And NIU returns. Starks with the ball right away. Working on Scott. Walks to the free throw line. Pass to the left corner. Nikinte comes in. Walking to the free throw line there. Starks in front of the Miami bench. Got a pass to the far side. Trying to bring it to the middle. She traveled. So 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the second quarter. And the RedHawks will clean up house here. Kleeser's going to come back in. Esperand is going to come back in. And it appears that they bring Hoff back in too. So 3 new players out there for the RedHawks in the late stages of the second. Pass down low for Kleesner. Caught it with the right arm. Cross court feed. Finds Scott top of the key. Peyton Scott hits the brakes right elbow. Back to the left elbow now. And now to the near corner. Esperand missed that 3 attempt. Too far right. NIU back the other way. Starks will hit the arc. Cut toward the middle. A layup too hard. It bounced off the iron and then back out. Rocks pick up the rebound. They're back the other way. Dickerson top of the key. Switches to the left arm dribble. Kleeser returns to Dickerson. Now down the left side. Found a lane and put it up and in for 2. She cut to the middle. Had the MAC logo in the paint and fired it through. 90 seconds to go here in quarter number 2. 29-24. The Huskies lead it. Coker hit the brakes at the arc. Walks it top the key on Scott. And we get a foul here. Whistled on Miami. Kleeser under the hoop. Throwing a few elbows. And the referee from the outside near the backcourt caught it. And so Peyton Scott will come out of the game for the RedHawks. And they will bring, I'm trying to see who they brought back in for her. Maybe Paulson. Appears Kenzie Schmidt's in the game. Coker at the line here for NIU. Missed the first free throw. She has 1 of 2. And makes the second one. Coker's first miss, though, of the year. And it will be 30-24. The Huskies on top with 1:23 to go in the second. Dickerson with the ball for the RedHawks over the timeline right wing. 24 to shoot for Miami. 1:15 to go in the second quarter. Top of the key here. It is Abby Hoff. Pass to the near side. Esperan returns up top for Kenzie Schmitz. Hoff hands it off to Dickerson behind her. 9 to shoot for the Rocks. Dickerson right side from the corner. Little jumper. Too hard. Rebound tipped around in the hands of NIU. Starks took it over for the Huskies. Right-handed dribble across timeline, middle of the floor. Pass to the near wing. Grace Hunter. Top of the key. Will stop and wait. Far side pass, Allie May. Back for Woods. 15 to shoot for NIU. Woods, middle of the lane drive. She got completely knocked over there by Kleesner. The shot came through and hit the bottom of the net, but did not have enough height on it. So at the line here will be Courtney Woods. She will shoot 1 of 2. First one too hard. NIU at the free throw line tonight is 1 for 5 now. Woods, the leading scorer on the team, 16.3 points per game coming in. She's also the leading free throw shooter, 86.2%. The 6'0 redshirt senior out of Brisbane, Australia. Holds the NIU record for three-pointers made at 105 last year in the season. Made the second free throw to give the Huskies a 31-24 lead. 40 seconds are left here in quarter number 2. 30 on the shot clock, so exactly a 10-second difference. Dickerson left elbow. She tried to pass it back to the far side, went off an NIU foot. That was Starks, who was standing right there and immediately out the baseline. So the RedHawks will take over here for an inbound. Near side of the floor, offensive end at the baseline. Esperant has it for the RedHawks. Stretch pass out to the top of the key. Abby Hoff got it there. Dickerson far side of the floor. She's double teamed right now. Got it down low. McLaughlin, quick transfer to the right arm and off the glass and in. 23 seconds left in the second. 31-26. Huskies lead it. Shot clock is off. Oh, NIU has a final shot if they want it here the first half. At half court now, dribbling with the left arm, Mija Starks. Pass down low for Woods. She's going to drive down the right side of the paint. Off the iron, no good. Put back attempt, and she's fouled. Woods got her own rebound and was shoved over there. The second shot was short. As Courtney Woods here will stand at the free throw line for another trip to the line. She just went 1 for 2 about a minute ago. 3.9 seconds are left here in the second. And the first one is good. Woods second makes it through as well. So the RedHawks with a stretch pass here. 2 seconds to go. Scott, top of the key, offensive end of the floor. Launched it 3-2 hard. Good job there by Miami to knock the ball off floor pretty quickly as the inbound was given off by Abby Hoff near side. Passed it up to the top of the key. Waiting there was Scott for the three-pointer, but it was too hard. NIU with a good job getting back defensively. So we've hit halftime here at Millett Hall in Oxford this evening. The Huskies 33, Miami's 26. As the RedHawks tonight got a pretty slow start in this game, and that's prohibited them from climbing forward on NIU here in this first half as we reach halftime now from Millett Hall. NIU out rebounding Miami 28-13. RedHawks and Huskies tied at 6 assists apiece. NIU leading the turnovers though by a 12-6 margin. Points in the paint, NIU has 14 of those. RedHawks have just 2. 2 blocks for Miami, none for Northern Illinois. 6 steals for the RedHawks, 4 for the Huskies. Leading scorer for NIU after 20 minutes will be number 10, Shelby Coker, the 5'6 freshman out of Racine, Wisconsin. She has 10 points on the day, 3 for 3 from the field and 3 for 3 from three-point land plus a free throw. So she's doing pretty well from outside the arc. For Miami, the leading scorer, Lauren Dickerson, who has 8 points. She's shooting 4 for 8 from the field, including 0 for 2 from three-point land, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Dickerson, who leads the team tonight with 19 minutes. RedHawks end that first half 1 for 14 in their last 14 three-pointers. Total on the night for Miami, 2 for 15 from outside the arc. Huskies 1 for 5 in their last 5 field goals. Also 1 for 5 in their last 5 three-pointers. As the Huskies lead Miami by a score of 33-26 here at the half from Millett Hall. So we'll take about a 13-minute break or so and return with the second half call here from Oxford. As you're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio, the second half in a moment here from Millett.
forma.
Patrick Geshan back with you at Millett Hall. We are about to begin the second half here from Oxford this evening. Miami and Northern Illinois. The Huskies on top by a score of 33-26. Huskies shooting 12 for 30 in that first half from the field. They were 5 from 11 in three-point land, 4 for 8 in free throws. RedHawks 12 for 36 from the field, 2 for 15. That's it from outside the arc, 13.3%. They had no free throw attempts in that first half. NIU's biggest lead was 9 points. It came with 4:22 to go in the second. RedHawks had the lead at 1 point very early on in this contest. Their biggest has been 4 points. That came at 7 minutes and 1 second into the first half. So NIU again in their road blacks with red numbers, red trim, are going to get the inbound here to begin the festivities in the second half and third quarter. Huskies will move right to left across your radio offensively here. Miami left to right as we're underway in the third quarter. Controlling the ball for the Huskies is Maya Starks. Pass to the top of the key, controlled by Courtney Woods, who will fire off a shot from the far side in the paint and got it to go. So the Huskies with 2 points of the opening possession here of the second half. RedHawk to the ball offensively. Pull it down low, it's off the glass, no good from Abby Hoff. She got a pass from the near side by Peyton Scott. That comes 27 seconds into this third quarter. First team foul against NIU. So Hoff at the line here for a pair, and the first one too hard. Hoff only 4 for 8 in the free throw department this year. The 6'0 redshirt junior guard out of St. Peters, Missouri. At 7 points in the RedHawks' previous game against Buffalo, able to sink the second one through on the first 2 free throw attempts of the night for the RedHawks. 35-27 your score. Huskies lead it. It's May, top the key for NIU. Pass to the far side, Courtney Woods. Holds it above her head, walks to the top of the key, then feeds it to the right wing for Blackwell. Riley Blackwell down low for May. Right side of the post, trying to make a move on Kleesner. She traveled, pivoting on her right foot, took an extra step, came off. So here comes Lauren Dickerson from Miami over the timeline on the left wing. Pass to the far side. Peyton Scott holds here for the RedHawks. Bounces it up to the top of the key. Dickerson, right elbow pull-up jumper, too far left. She just can't shoot tonight. They get it though on offensive board. Scott to the far corner. Kleesner was stripped away the ball by Blackwell. NIU a fast break, a stretch pass ahead, picked off by Scott at the timeline. Scott down the right side of the floor, puts it off the glass and in. She picked off a pass coming down the floor by Blackwell. And a good 2 points there. Miami trying to get some momentum going in the second half. Trail NIU by 6. Huskies with the ball, floating it down low. A pass picked off by Kleesner under the hoop. That was coming off the hands of Grace Hunter. Dickerson, free throw line, back for Esbrand. Far side, outside the arc, it is Scott. Esbrand far corner for Miami on the left wing. Scott back up top, cross-court pass. They find Abby Hoff. And then back for Dickerson, top of the key. Coming down the left wing, a pull-up jumper left elbow that missed from Dickerson. Lauren Dickerson tonight, now just 4 for 10 from the field. Seems like it's a lot worse than that, but she just can't get some of these simple shots to go. NIU works the ball down low to the post, and a foul here. Courtney Woods trying to get the ball up, but I guess it's an offensive foul. Couldn't quite see the referee when she made the call, but Courtney Woods whistled for the offensive foul. It'll be the second on NIU. As Dickerson re-enters over the timeline, middle of the floor for Miami. Trailing to the right wing, little shovel pass, top of the key, Scott, wide open three, too hard, it bounced once, off the rim, the putback attempted, and one is going to be good from Savannah Kleesner. And she picked up the ball off the iron from the three-pointer by Peyton Scott. The entire NIU defense is on the right half of the floor. Chance here for the first three-point play tonight, Savannah Kleesner to the line. We'll get her first attempt of the day. Kleesner is 64.2% free throw shooter on the year, 6 it through. 7.5 to go in the third quarter, 35-32, Huskies lead it. Here's Woods, gets room in the paint, fires it off with the right arm, no good. And a foul whistle there on the Miami defender was probably Esbrand. As a cluster, about 3 players down there under the hoop. 35-32, NIU the lead. They are only up by 3. Courtney Woods to the line now for the Huskies. Woods tonight is 3 for 4 from the line, 2 previous trips. They actually whistled Abby Hoff for that foul. It's her first personal for the RedHawks. And the first free throw good by Woods. NIU from the line tonight, 4 for 8. Woods the second makes it through. She has 13 points tonight for the Huskies to lead them. Dickerson over the timeline left wing, plays it back. Here is Scott down the far baseline to charge in, and it's an offensive foul. She knocked over Courtney Woods right under the hoop. Woods falling backwards there on the charge by Scott, and that will be the second team foul against Miami in the half. Peyton Scott will pick up her second personal. May, top of the key. Far side Woods. Stutter step move, fires off at 3, and that's good. The defender that time, Abby Hoff, was standing near Woods. Woods the jab step and then back out for the 3. Rocks quickly back the other way. Scott, cross court pass to the near side. Played here by Abby Hoff. Back outside, Scott lost control on a drive down the near side of the floor in the paint. And now she is down. A foul whistle there is slow to get up for Miami's Peyton Scott. Maxwell whistled for her, or Blackwell rather, whistled for her second personal. Plays her back up top. Dickerson off the inbound, launches a 3, too hard, and a whistle here for an offensive foul on Miami. They knocked over Riley Blackwell in the paint there. So NIU will get the ball back here. 6:40 to go in the third quarter. NIU 40, Miami 32. 5-0 run for the Huskies in the last minute or so. Blackwell free throw line, hands it right back. Top of the key 3 missed. Too hard by Allie May. Miami gets it back to the left wing, and over the line comes Abby Hoff. Pulls back for Dickerson. Far side, returns to Hoff. Top of the key 3, short. It's tipped off the hands of Esperan, back into the hands of the Huskies, and we have a foul whistled on that sequence. As it was Maya Starks who picked it up for NIU, and I guess a little reach from behind there by Abby Hoff to draw the foul. And Hoff will come out of this game. That's her third personal with 6:19 to go in the third, and it looks like Deanna Hendricks has called a timeout. And that will be Miami's first of the game. They trail NIU by 8 points, 40-32. Your score from Millett Hall this evening, 6:19 to go. In quarter number 3, it's Miami basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Back at Millett Hall in this Wednesday night from Oxford. Northern Illinois 40, Miami 32. Patrick Geshan back with you here on RedHawk Radio this evening. Glad you're with us. As Miami and Northern Illinois both looking for MAC win number 1 and conference game number 2 on the year for both squads. Huskies control after the timeout. In the paint, Blackwell finding room to fire off a right-handed hook shot, missed. May picked up the rebound under the hoop. Bounce pass here at Blackwell far side. Gave it back for Woods, charged down the right wing, reaches the MAC, will go in the paint. It's an and one for Woods. As she was basically hockey-style trip there. And it should be the 15th foul on Miami. Bree Paulson whistled for her second. She just kind of tripped Woods hockey style there. Woods able to lay the shot up and good with her right arm. She was going to shoot anyway. Makes the free throw too to complete the three-point play. So it's 43-32. The Huskies lead it with 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Payne Scott, far corner Kleeser, has room to move in toward the hoop. Knocked over a Husky player, no call. Back to the top of the key. Paulson returns far side. Scott dribbling between the legs. Top of the key pass again. Esbrand, left elbow, fired it far side, but he'll get a whistle here. And a foul against NIU as they shoved Esbrand before the pass got off. So that'll be the first personal foul against Courtney Woods for NIU, the team's fourth. The Rocks have 5 team fouls, 5:36 to go in quarter number 3. Dickerson, far corner pass for Kleeser. Back up top of the key, Payne Scott. And then returns here for Dickerson. Driving to the far sideline, top of the key. Paulson, Scott, right wing, and down low for Kleesner, who tried to get a little hooker off with the right arm, but missed. A foul whistle against NIU, and it will be the first personal. It appears on number 15 for NIU, that's Grace Hunter. Beg your pardon, actually Allie May whistled for her first personal on the play for the Huskies. So Kleeser at the line here will shoot free throw number 1, and that's good. And that will snap the 2-minute, 11-second scoreless drought for the RedHawks. Kleeser makes the second. 5:20 to go in the third, 43-34. NIU leads it. Blackwell will fire it off and good with the right arm from under the hoop. NIU worked it to her pretty early on in that possession. Gives the Huskies an 11-point lead back. Dickerson, top of the key. Back to the far side, dribbling with the left arm. Returns up top here. Paulson, near side Scott. Cross-court pass. Scott gets it back. Will walk into the paint, fire off a jumper. Missed from the left side, just below the elbow. NIU back the other way. It's Starks dodging through defenders at half court. Walks it back, top of the key. And down low for Coker. Finds Woods far side. Right on the right side of the post. Little jumper there and a pull-up next to the hoop. Through for 2. 47-34, Huskies lead it. Scott. Top to Guy Paulson, her pass down low, tip to Kleesner, far side, picks it up for a jumper, too hard. Blackwell the rebound, all alone at the free throw line. Leads a rush back the other way for the Huskies. Blackwell feeds it back for Woods, left wing for NIU. Top of the key, a little shovel pass to Coker. Back to the near side for Blackwell. Will feed it far side of the court. Allie May dribbling, firing a jumper there that missed. On the far side, rebound picked up Miami. Dickerson over the timeline right away. We'll get it to the free throw line, lose control on the dribble there, and bring it back to the top of the key. Dickerson, your side pass. It is Kenzie Schmitz with the ball. Walks to top of the key. Scott got a pass, and the Mac logo in the paint, stripped away there by May. NIU the pickup back the other way. Starks, free throw line. We'll give it back for May, top of the key. Back to the point. Coker will replace May there. Pass to the right wing, outside the arc. Blackwell will walk it toward the middle of the floor, and we get a foul here as she was coming across. It appears to be on the RedHawks, number 32, Savannah Kleesner. And that will bring us to a timeout. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Northern Illinois on top of Miami by 13. 47-34 your score from Millett Hall on a Wednesday night. This is Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Three minutes, 30 seconds here left here in quarter number 3 from Oxford. Patrick Geshan back with you here on Red Hawk Radio this evening. As the Huskies of Northern Illinois lead this game by a score of 47-34. Huskies at this point in the ball game are 17 for 38 from the field, 44.7%. RedHawks 14 for 46 for 30.4% from the field. Miami just 2 for 18 from outside the arc in this game. That's 11.1%. And if they want to have any type of offensive success moving on this year, they need to get that to work. Black at the free throw line for NIU. Fires off their first free throw. That's good. Riley Blackwell, 6'1" junior out of Plainfield, Indiana. 7 points in their game against Ohio the other day. Second one missed. So Alexis Straw for Miami in the game after the timeout. Hits the brakes at the top of the key and gives back to Lauren Dickerson. And a screen was set in front of her by Kleesner. She was going after Woods. Kleesner and Woods both went down. Woods is, or I guess Coker rather, whistled for the foul.
At the line to shoot the bonus for the RedHawks, number 32, Savannah.
Beg your pardon, Kleesner was actually tied up with Coker there. In the top of the key. So Shelby Coker picks up personal foul number 2. Kleesner at the line for the RedHawks. Will miss the first free throw. She has 11 points tonight, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 3 in free throws. And Kleesner the leading rebounder for Miami, obviously, with 5 tonight. Missed the second one. The rebound tied up between Esperand and Coker at the free throw line. And the possession arrow favors Miami right now, so the Hawks will get it back. 20 to shoot, 3:19 to go in the third. Dickerson will inbound this one. And now we have a conference between two referees far side of the floor. Nothing signaled from that. Dickerson will play it in. Kleesner near side of the floor. And a foul whistle here. She was moving toward the hoop. They're taking a step back from getting the inbound pass and then walked it back to the middle. And the foul whistled against the Huskies. Kleesner returns right back to the line. Still trying to see who they whistled the foul on. First one good from Savannah Kleesner. Aja Davis got the foul for NIU, her second personal. 5-0 run for the Huskies in the last 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Now a 5-1 run. Kleesner missed his second free throw. So Coker hands to the far side of the floor, and it's Maya Starks for the Huskies. Dribbling with the right arm, pass to the far side for Aja Davis. Walks it to the free throw line, then back outside the arc. As a three-pointer there, missed short by Courtney Woods. RedHawks pick up the board on the defensive end of the floor. Dickerson, top of the key, pulls up for a three. That's good! Well, Lauren Dickerson couldn't get the three-ball working the other day against Buffalo until late in the game, and maybe this is the time that starts working tonight. She had a string of 4 straight three-pointers in the Buffalo game at one point. And that is her first three-point bucket of the evening. 48-38, the Huskies lead it with 2:25 to go in the third. 10 to shoot for NIU. This offensive possession, dribbling it at the middle of the floor with Starks. Got to the MAC logo in the paint and let go of the ball. Was stripped on a jump shot attempt. Dickerson back the other way for Miami. She made a good defensive play there. Kleesner, right elbow, having trouble. Was brought to the floor there by Woods, who stripped the ball from her. There was no tie-up or anything. And NIU comes back the other way. Starks, Woods, left elbow. Will get to the baseline. Fire pass far corner. Intended for Coker. Getting in the way of that was Straw to knock it out of bounds with her right hand. Standing in the way of the pass. NIU will inbound here. 19 to shoot. 1:56 to go in the third. Kleesner will come out for Miami. So will Straw. As NIU here will inbound the ball far corner. Top of the key, Blackwell. Pass to the far wing, and a long three launched too hard by Allie May. It's picked up by Dickerson, far corner for the RedHawks. Walks it top of the key, fires off a jumper there. That missed. It was from inside the arc. Ball tipped around by multiple players to the near side of the floor. NIU trying to save it, a sliding attempt in front of the courtside seatings. Woods trying to keep it in, but could not, and it will be out on NIU. RedHawks with a real fresh shot clock here. $1:37 to go in this third quarter.
For NIU, it's number 15, Grace Hunter for Courtney Woods.
Now is about to inbound the ball for Miami will be number 23. That is Kenzie Schmitz. Top of the key, Dickerson walks it far side. Moves toward the baseline area now and will bounce it, trying to go back for Hoff. Ball coughed up there by her. NIU works it free. A tie-up whistled as Hoff was with Amani Freeman, or excuse me, number 34, Allie May for NIU. And the possession arrow in favor of the Huskies now. We'll get it back. So they will inbound the defensive end of the floor here. RedHawks will put on the full court press. And a stoppage. Deanna Hendricks wants the referees to talk about something. I believe they had maybe a wrong player whistled for something. Inbound here, offensive end of the floor for NIU. Or defensive, I'm sorry. Starts to the ball, four-court press for Miami. May, and a 10-second violation as the Huskies couldn't get it across timeline in time. RedHawks had all 5 players on that end of the floor. May standing kind of near half court on the Miami M, right side of it. Was looking for someone to pass to as she was just standing still, stationary when the shot clock hit 20. Peyton Scott will inbound for the RedHawks here, far side in front of the Miami bench. They have 30 on the shot clock, 1:15 to go in the third. Scott, top of the key, walks around the arc on the right wing, got a break, charge down the right side, in the end one, Peyton Scott. Off the glass and in. The foul whistle to Michaela Brandon. That will be her first personal. And Scott with a pretty big play there. Maybe can generate some momentum for this RedHawks team that needs it. They're on a 6-0 run now in the last 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Scott dribbles twice, twirls the ball around in her arms. Free throw is up and good. 48-41, the Huskies on top. 1:07 to go in the third. Kayla Brandon for NIU will inbound here for the Huskies. Defensive end of the floor, another full court press by the RedHawks. May in the paint. The pass back here for Michaela Brandon, who's up the floor over the timeline for the Huskies. And the RedHawks still with a lot of pressure up high here will lower it as NIU gets offensive players into the zone. Shelby Coker, far side. On the top of the key, walks it over to Starks. Pass to the far wing. Now it is Grace Hunter. Working there on May. 6 to shoot for NIU. Travel. Shelby Coker, top of the key, trying to charge down that right side of the paint. Took a step too many. Redhawks will get it back on the far side of the floor. Defensive end. 43.3 seconds to go in the third quarter. And 30 on the shot clock as Miami moves here offensively. Dickerson over the timeline right away. Drills toward the right arc, back top of the key. Shovel pass down low for Peyton Scott. Dribbling right hand, cross court feed. Hoff, far corner. Esbrand tries the three. It's good! Second three-pointer of the night for Monique Esbrand. She's 2 for 6 from outside the arc. NIU working it back up the right wing and tripping there was Starks. Esbrand brought her down at the timeline. Esbrand will be whistled for the foul. It'll be the 15th foul against Miami, and that means free throws are coming here for the Huskies.
Number 23, Maya Starks.
Maya Starks. Esbrand now up to 3 personal in the game. 10-0 run for the RedHawks in the last 3 minutes, 8 seconds. First free throw is good. With 22.2 seconds left here in the third quarter. And the second one in and out, that time off the hands of Starks. And a whistle here we get as Rex working to inbound here after the missed free throw. Kleeser is back in the game for Miami, and they bring out Abby Hoff. And Dickerson here will take it across timeline for the RedHawks, middle of the floor. 15 seconds left. Shot clock is off in the third quarter. Dickerson holding here at the top of the key. Bounces between the left and right arm. Now works inside the free throw line. Ball came away from her. Her matchup is Sparks. Dickerson picks up the ball, launches a long three-pointer. May the rebound as it was no good. And the clock hits 0 as Allie May had no options there, deep in her own end. It's a close one here. The RedHawks have shortened the margin a bit from halftime. NIU led by 9 at the half. Now it is a 49-44 lead for the Huskies. A 5-point advantage as we will begin the final 10 minutes here after this break from Millett Hall. RedHawks ended that quarter on a 10-2 run in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds, trying to keep that momentum into the fourth. We'll have the fourth quarter for you in a moment. This is Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. 49-44 your score. Northern Illinois leading the RedHawks from Miami. As we begin fourth quarter play here, an inbound at half court, Abby Hoff for Lauren Dickerson. RedHawks left to right across your radio here in the fourth. Trailing by 5, trying to grab MAC win number 1 on the year. Kleesner, right-handed hook shot. MAC logo in the paint, missed. Huskies returned at the other end of the floor. Top of the key, Courtney Woods. Down to the right elbow, Allie May. Back up top for Blackwell. Far side, May. Cross-court pass, a long one. Finds Woods there. Pulls up left elbow. Now to the MAC logo in the middle of the floor. Working on Esperan. He got off the glass and in. 2 hands. Right side of the post. Now far side 3, Scott. In and out for Miami, who worked it quickly back to the offensive end. 51-44, Huskies lead at 45 seconds into this fourth quarter. And Starks was controlling the ball half court, but in front of her inside the arc, Peyton Scott was body checked by Grace Hunter for NIU, her second personal foul. Easy call there for the officials. So an inbound coming, Abby Hoff will play it in for Dickerson. Dickerson with the ball here. Left side, outside the arc. Top of the key. 3 is good from Abby Hoff. Just a kind of a slow sequence there for the RedHawks to get the ball to the offensive end of the floor. Now a 4-point lead for the Huskies. RedHawks a little bit of pressure in the backcourt here. Abby Hoff came in to defend number 15, Grace Hunter, who had the ball right from the Miami bench. Hoff came in too aggressively, according to the referee. And a foul whistled on Abby Hoff, which will be her first. Or excuse me, Abby Hoff's third, rather, of the game, as that will be the first team foul on Miami. NIU top of the key, pass in the near wing, Woods. Lifts it down low for Allie May. MAC logo. Right-handed hook shot, good for the paint by Allie May. Peyton Scott lost the matchup that time near the hoop. 90 seconds in this fourth quarter, NIU jumps to the 53-47 advantage. Abby Hoff down low, a pass for Kleesner. She was standing near the free throw line, not under the hoop, and that's where the pass went. And NIU an inbound here, right up to the full court press as the Huskies in the defensive end of the floor. This has worked before in this game. Miami tried to late in the Buffalo game too. Blackwell, far side, they work it over the timeline with 4 seconds to spare. As Starks, top of the key, controls here for the Huskies. Pass to the far side, Hunter. Working against Kleesner. Hunter down low, got an open lane and banks it off the glass and in without much other RedHawk defenders under their own hoop. Dickerson pulls up top of the key for Miami. Right wing pass. That's Kenzie Schmitz with the ball. Feeds it back for Dickerson. Waiting here. Returns. Abby Hoff, right side. 3-pointer. Too far right. Picking up the rebound are the Huskies, and it's Amani Freeman to pass it up at the half-court line with Starks, who got fouled. Kind of double team there. Abby Hoff was in the area, and so was Kleesner. Those are two over 6-foot tall people that foul there. And it looks like Abby Hoff was whistled that time for her 4th personal, so she's the first one to enter foul trouble for Miami and is brought out of the game. 7:41 is left here in the fourth quarter. NIU 55, Miami 47. RedHawks take their second timeout of the game, and we will take one too. This is Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Back to Millett in a moment. .741 to go in the fourth quarter. NIU 55, Miami 47. As the Huskies leading the bench points right now, 14-3. That's been a problem for the RedHawks so far this year, is the depth off the bench, at least in the past few games. This has really just been that Dickerson, Peyton Scott, Kleesner finding the scoring board. And RedHawks off the bench just haven't been able to generate much offense as of late. Trying to find that depth. RedHawks 1 for 5 in their last 5 field goals. Huskies with the ball after the timeout, offensive end of the floor. At the point was Allie May trying to make a move down the right wing, but she traveled. So Miami coming here with an inbound near side of the floor. 7:32 is left in the fourth. RedHawks trail NIU by 8. Huskies trying to snap a 3-game losing streak in Oxford today. Esperan near corner inside the arc. Left-handed hook shot it in as she cut across the floor from the paint. Back the other way, starts for NIU. To the right wing, will circle back to the point. And dish back to the right side, little floater in here. It is Woods working in the post with Paulson. Back out to the far corner, long three-pointer missed by Hunter. Rebound picked up by Kleesner. And a foul here is whistled on the Huskies. This was going to go out of bounds anyway, but Allie May made contact under the hoop there with Peyton Scott. So inbounded here by Kenzie Schmitz to Dickerson, who dribbles across timeline, middle of the floor for Miami. Dickerson, little floater to the far side. Esperant walked it to the left elbow, cuts toward the baseline. Back for Kleesner, right on the arc left wing. Drive in, and an and one coming for Kleesner. Contact made with her when she got the shot off with her right arm, banked it off the glass and in. And I believe May is going to pick up her third foul here for NIU. Free throw good there from Kleesner to complete the three-point sequence. So now just a three-point game. RedHawks are trying to make it close. 55-52. Starks, a coast-to-coast try for the Huskies. Down the right edge of the paint, was fouled as she tried to get a little jump shot off with her right arm. Came near the right side of the post and just kind of leapt up in the air and tried to fire it off the glass. Contact was made. And they now say that the foul whistled on Peyton Scott, who picks up her fourth personal foul. So Peyton Scott in some pretty deep foul trouble here with 6:36 to go. As the first free throw made by Starks. Scott, 9 points tonight, third on the team. Dickerson has 11, leading the team tonight with points for Miami is Kleesner, who has 15. And we get a whistle here for a review, I suppose, as one of the referees has gone over to the table to look at a monitor. I guess they're going to examine that last foul to see how bad it was. Or they were trying to see who'd made the foul. As originally the call was on Kenzie Schmitz fouling Maya Starks, then they reversed it to say Scott did it, now back to Schmitz. So Scott down to 3 personal fouls now. The second free throw is made by Starks, and Schmitz now has 3 personal fouls. Abby Hoff has 4 for Miami. She is the deepest in foul trouble. Dickerson down low. Tiana Fulton gets her first touch of the game for the RedHawks in the game. Right elbow. Kleesner now works for a left-handed hook shot in the paint that missed. NIU returns to the offensive end of the floor. Starks pulls up half court. 6:13 left in the fourth. Down low for Blackwell. Holding up on Fulton. Blackwell spin around move right elbow. Pass it far side and back up top to Woods. Woods holding here. A little screen set by Huskies. Gives room for a right arm drive by Hoods that missed down the right edge of the paint. RedHawks return to the offensive side. Esperan, left elbow. Fired it off a body and out of bounds. It went off a Husky. Trying to pass it to the far corner where waiting for the ball was Kenzie Schmitz. 5:50 to go in the fourth. NIU 57, Miami 52. For the first time in a while, Shelby Coker's back in for the Huskies. She has 2 personal fouls, 10 points in the day. Players moving around here. Before the inbound came in, referee had to stop him. Inbound coming far side of the baseline. Offensive end of the floor off the hands of Kenzie Schmitz. A long stretch pass out to half court. Picked up here by Dickerson. Back to the top of the key. Fulton shovels it near side. Wide open 3. Esbrand too hard. Fulton went after the rebound. It went off her. And out of bounds near the baseline. NIU will grab here the ball with 5:40 to go in the fourth. Shelby Coker with the ball. The pass on the arc to the right side. A little shovel pass back. Cross-court feed. Blackwell catches it. Gave it off left elbow. Jumper is good for May. As they were able to cleverly work it inside there. 59-52, NIU the lead. Kleesner right wing is outside the arc. Holds it above her head. Left wing drive. Little spin around move in the paint on May. Got it to the right side of the paint. Right-handed shot off the square and in that time. 4:53 to go in the fourth. 59-54. NIU leads it. Starks with the ball here, middle of the floor. Coming to the right wing. Hits the brakes at the arc. May now with the ball. Free throw line to cut to the middle. Back for Starks. Left elbow jumper. Yes. Starks up to 7 points on the day for NIU. Here comes Dickerson over the timeline, left wing for Miami. Top of the key, Matt to the right side, fires off an errant 3, that's right. Rebound though on an offensive board, picked up by Kleesner. Returns to the point for Kenzie Schmitz, walks it to the baseline and gets it and one, Kenzie Schmitz. Took a weird route there to get to the hoop. Started outside the arc in the left wing, kind of shadowed the left edge of the paint, took a step back, then came back toward the hoop and fired off a shot to get the and one that bounced through. That will be per team foul, rather, number 15 for Northern Illinois in the game. Not sure about the quarter. They took that stat off the Jumbotron. It's going to be on May. That'll be her 4th personal. They bring Esbrand out for Miami at this stoppage. Peyton Scott is in. Allie May is out for NIU. Ajay Davis is in. And a free throw to complete the 3-point play is good that time from Schmitz. So NIU will control here. 4:15 to go in the fourth. 4-point Husky lead. That's coming across the timeline, middle of the floor. Coker. The ball batted out of her hands, out the near sideline by Fulton. Tiana Fulton, the redshirt freshman out of Mason, Ohio, gets some playing time and making an impact here late in this one. Still a 4-point game. Coker far side of the floor, feeds it down low to Woods, working on the right edge of the paint. Dishes it back top of the key and knocked to the near side for Starks. Up top for Woods again. Hucks it around the arc. Back outside, 5 to shoot NIU. She was shadowed by Fulton. Down low, Starks with the ball, lost control in the paint, and a tie up here as Dickerson was in there with Kleesner to knock over Starks, who had the ball left edge of the paint. The shot clock ran out, and that's what stopped play, and the Rocks will get it back here with 3:40 to go in the fourth. Dickerson hands back to Peyton Scott, dribbles with her right arm and hits the brakes top of the key. Floater pass inside, too high for Kleesner to catch. And back the other way comes NIU on offense. Starks, right edge of the paint, will swoop back to the far side and outside the arc. And trying to bounce it down low toward the corner. A pass looking there for Ajay Davis that generates a whistle and went out of bounds off of a Miami foot. So the Huskies inbound here in front of their bench. Blackwell, the pass to the paint, working down there for an offensive foul. Actually, Ajay Davis had the ball. Kleesner tumbled backwards. Ajay Davis with her 3rd personal. And Miami with a clutch turnover there and a good stop defensively. 3:21 to go in the fourth. Huskies 61, Miami 57. Esbrand one bounce, and it's inbounds to Peyton Scott. She's over the middle of the floor at the timeline. Dribbling with the right arm. Scott outside the arc. Had it stripped away by Coker. They're out the near sideline. And I guess it went off NIU. Rocks will keep it here as Coker coming in pretty aggressively that time on Peyton Scott. Coker eventually the one to knock it out of bounds. Kayla Brandon will come back in for the Huskies. She will replace Blackwell. As Dickerson controls here top of the key for Miami. NIU also bringing Allie Mae back in the game with 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Dickerson left wing. Reaches the right elbow. Dish to the near corner. Scott, three-pointer, short. Took a bounce. Gleaser the rebound under the hoop and puts it in for two. And it's now a 2-point game. 61-59, the Huskies lead it. Less than 3 to go in the fourth. Far side, it's Maya Starks who will slow things down for NIU, walking it back to half court. Starks dribbling with the right arm. Pass down low for Courtney Woods. Right elbow for the Huskies. Dribbling right arm, offensive foul. Never mind travel. Woods took a step too many. A good defense that time from Kleesner, who met her at the free throw line and walked her down toward the hoop, where Woods took a step too many. 2.5 to go in the fourth. The RedHawks have a chance to tie or take the lead down by 2. They haven't led since 7 minutes and 1 second was left in the first quarter. Payne Scott, far side of the floor. Dickerson, top of the key, walks it around to the right side of the arc. Down to the far corner, Esperand trying to drive with the baseline, but she traveled. A step too many that time with 2:13 left in the fourth. And NIU will inbound here, defensive end of the floor, and the RedHawks using that full court press again. It's been successful in this game to steal the ball away and prevent NIU from maybe getting it across town line in time. And we get a whistle here for a timeout as Brandon was inbounding for NIU, far side of the baseline. And a little bit too long for the likes of head coach Lisa Carlson, who calls the timeout for the Huskies. That'll be their first of the game. 61-59 again your score. 2:13 is left here in the fourth. And we'll step aside for just a moment. It's Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. So the Huskies 61, Miami 59. Patrick Geshan back with you on Red Hawk Radio this evening. 2:13 is left in the fourth. The Huskies have committed 5 team fouls in this fourth quarter. Miami has 3. And 3 timeouts left for NIU, 2 for Miami. They inbound the ball here. The Huskies to defensive end of the floor. Grace Hunter with it to the right wing, and they barely get over the timeline in time. It's Blackwell with the ball. Near side Hunter as the defense spreads out for Miami on their end of the floor. May back for Starks, half court, bouncing with the right arm. Pass to the far side, Blackwell will dish up top. It was tipped away there from Woods. Gets it back now near side 7 to shoot. Starks, free throw line, charged on the right side. It's and 1 for Starks. Off the glass and in, got a lucky bounce that time. Dickerson will pick up her first personal foul as Maya Starks up to 9 points of the night. And that's pretty disappointing play for the RedHawks as Starks will have a chance to make this lead 5 points for the Huskies here with this free throw and makes it 64-59, 1:45 to go in the fourth. Dickerson over the timeline, far side of the floor, dribbling with the right arm. Back to the top of the key, walking around the arc. Dickerson, errant 3, right wing, in and out. RedHawks with an offensive board, though, under the hoop. Scott works it free, and a left-handed shot off the glass, and in is good. Good one there from Scott. Full court press for Miami. NIU the inbound, and they work it free, but a pass up the right wing out of the outstretched hands of Grace Hunter. She had it for a second, then lost it up the far sideline. She would have had a breakaway to the hoop. A very lucky break there for Miami, and Scott will inbound here for the RedHawks to Dickerson. They have 30 seconds shot clock, 1:20 to go in the fourth. Down by 3. Dickerson holds at half court. Dribbling between the left and right arm. Walks it around the arc right side. Right wing charge. Scott down near corner, got a pass. Up top for Esperand. Stutter step move. Now a jumper from the arc is good. And I don't know if they say this is 2 or 3 from Esperand. They're going to take a review as the referee shut the play down immediately after the basket went in, but Monique Esperand has made this At the worst case scenario, 1 point NIU lead. And they have on the scoreboard a tie game at 64-64. In my opinion, Esbrand was right on the arc. That's what I thought watching the play live on the left wing there for Miami. But I guess calling the floor is that it was a three-pointer, or the scoreboard operator thought so. So 2 referees now looking at the monitor. If so, that'll be the first time this game's been tied since very early on in it. As the RedHawks now have entered a 5-0 run in the last 41 seconds, and they're 3 for 4 in their last 4 field goals. However, the three-point ball for Miami tonight has been just abysmal. They're 6 for 30 from outside the arc and 1 for 6 in their last 6 tries. That's just 20% from three-point land tonight for the RedHawks. Referees still taking a look at that last three-pointer from Esbrand to see, well, I guess the last shot rather, to see if it was a 2 or 3-pointer. 1 minute and 5 seconds are left here in the fourth, and they do say it is a three-pointer. So we're tied at 64 with a little over a minute to go in the fourth. And Esbrand, who is shooting just 26.8% from outside the arc this year, has tied the game. NIU will inbound here. It's Woods in the paint, coming out of her own end. Will decide to circle back. 25 on the shot clock. Woods dribbling right arm. Will get it over on the right wing. Pass here, caught by Starks. Bobbled it for a second, keeps it in bounds. She's smiling, taking the ball back to half court. Near side pass for May. Gave it off there. Hunter to Blackwell. Far side Starks, 8 to shoot for NIU. Cross court feed, near corner 3. Is in and out from Hunter. Defensive rebound Miami. As over the timeline, Dickerson will calm things down here. 30 to go in the fourth quarter. 23 left on the shot clock. Dickerson down the right edge of the paint, off the glass, too far right. May tip the rebound for NIU. They get it to Starks. Shot clock off. 20 seconds to go on the floor. Tied at 64. And Starks, who holds the ball in front of the NIU bench on the offensive end of the floor, will call a timeout here, and the Huskies will use their second of the game to talk it over. So Dickerson that time had a wide open drive down the right side of the floor on the offensive end and had a layup attempt, but she just missed the layup too far right. 18.9 seconds are left here in the fourth quarter. Miami 64, NIU 64. Possession arrow in favor of the Huskies. RedHawks 2 timeouts left. NIU with 3. 5 team fouls for NIU in this fourth quarter. I think they've actually committed more, but they cap it off at 5. The RedHawks have the bonus. Miami rather has 1 foul to give. They've committed 4 in this fourth quarter. Leading point getter tonight, Savannah Kleeser for the Rock. She has 19. It is Courtney Woods for NIU, the leading point getter. She has 23 on the night. She's 8 for 14 from the field. Courtney Woods averaging 16.3 points per game on the year. So the timeouts here are breaking up. The ball be inbounded by the Huskies on the far side of the floor. At their offensive end, they're going to send Blackwell to fire it in. Riley Blackwell, a 6'1" junior. With 18.9 seconds left in the shot clock off here for NIU. They have a chance to win it on the last shot. Here's Starks. Controlling half court, will just wait, dribbling with the right arm. NIU sets up in a line across the court. Pass to the near side here. Hunter has it. Walk to top of the key. 5 to go. It's tipped away by Esbrand. Esbrand down the floor and makes the layup with 2 seconds to go. Monique Esbrand maybe just won it for Miami. A great defensive read that tipped the ball away with her left hand. Breakaway down the floor. The layup is good. RedHawks 66. Huskies 64 with 1.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the crowd certainly likes that, as NIU has called their timeout, their third timeout. Right after that sequence, they're going to have 1.8 seconds left in this game to get the ball inbounded from the defensive end of the floor. and try to see if a miracle can happen for them to get it in the hoop. Such a clutch play by Esperan. The ball was at the top of the key for NIU. I believe Starks had the ball. She was trying to pass it to a player on the far side, right wing. Esperan got right in the passing lane. As soon as she figured out that was going to happen, tipped it away with her left hand and was down the court on the left wing and making the layup with 2 seconds to go. So with that timeout call, NIU will inbound the ball here on the offensive end of the floor. I didn't realize that. As number 12, Riley Blackwell will inbound here. 1.9 seconds are put on the clock. They added an extra 1/10 of a second. And now Miami will call their timeout. Their third timeout of the game. After NIU set up offensively on the floor, and Deanna Hendricks wants to make sure her defense is set up for this play. Rocks lead by 2, so NIU could possibly win it here on the three-pointer, and with the amount of time left, 1.9 seconds, that's probably what they're going to have to do. And with a win today, Miami would grab MAC win number 1 on the season and become 4-1 at home on the year. Rocks are 3-0 this year in games decided by 10 points or less. This game certainly will be decided by 10 or less. Blackwell the inbound here near side of the floor, offensive end. 1.9 to go. It's tipped away by Esperan, out of bounds. 6/10 of a second to go. They're going to say it stays with NIU. Esperan got the tip on the inbound from Blackwell. It went off another player, another Miami player, and then out the near sideline. 6/10 of a second are left. A timeout has been called, I believe, by NIU. And the referees will look again to see how much time is left. Actually, I don't believe anybody's called a timeout. It's just a review. So all the players are huddled up here. Miami's going to, I guess, bring in McLaughlin, and it looks like Abby Hoff may be back in the game. They were sitting. They tapped into the scorer's table. They're 2 players over 6 feet tall. Now Hoff returns to the bench, and McLaughlin just standing there at half court now. So the RedHawks want to bring more height in with 6/10 of a second left, unless they change it after this review. 66-64, RedHawks lead it, fourth quarter. And NIU, it appears, will get one final chance on an inbound here.
Everybody clap your hands.
And their offensive end of the floor, each team has one timeout left. As Deanna Hendricks talking to her players for Miami, just the players that are on the floor right now. The rest of them are sitting on the bench. NIU, a full team huddle in front of their bench. Referee still peeking at the monitor to decide how much time exactly is left. There were 2 referees looking at it originally, and then one of them came away from the monitor and invited the third one to come in and look too. So now you have another different referee looking at it now. So I guess it's kind of a judgment call, I guess, in terms of how much time exactly is left. Every 10th of a second matters, I guess, at this point in the game. You got 0.6 on there right now. And in a 2-point contest tonight. And this one could definitely have some MAC implications when we look back toward the conference tournament in March at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse this year in Cleveland. Rock's next game is going to be Saturday at Central Michigan. They hit the road for a pair. They'll play in Mount Pleasant at 1 o'clock this weekend and then head to Ypsilanti for a Wednesday night matchup with Eastern Michigan at 7. NIU is on the road. Their Ohio road trip will continue Saturday at Toledo at 1 o'clock. And then Wednesday they'll play Kent State at 6 back at DeKalb. Referees are done looking, and they have put an extra 10th of a second on the clock, so now it says 7/10. Inbound will come at the same spot of the floor. This is actually about halfway between the timeline and the baseline in the offensive end of the floor for NIU, near side. They're going to send number 12, Riley Blackwell, back in, and McLaughlin was allowed to enter into the game. She replaces Dickerson for the last play. Esperan will guard Blackwell on the inbound attempt here. 66-64, Miami leads it. Blackwell looking to fire it in, waits. Will get it to the top of the key. Little flail outside is an air ball from Woods, and that does it from Millett. The Miami RedHawks will pile onto each other at the bench as they pick up conference win number 1 on the season by a score of 66-64 here at Millett Hall this evening. A come-from-behind win against the Huskies of Northern Illinois. And Monique Esperan, by far the player of the game tonight for the RedHawks, who made the clutch 2-point play to end the festivities here tonight from Millett Hall. That gave the RedHawks the eventual game-winning points. So the crowd will file out of Millett Hall here pretty happy tonight. And again, the RedHawks picking up the 2-point win. They ended the game on a 7-0 run in the last 1 minute and 46 seconds. Miami improves to 8-6 overall in the year. They're now 1-1 in the MAC. NIU begins the first 2 MAC games winless, 0-2 in the conference. They're now 4-9 overall. Heading back to DeKalb tonight after a pair of conference games on the road in the state of Ohio. So the leading scorer tonight for Miami, Savannah Kleeser, who finished with 19 points, 7 for 13 from the field. For NIU, the leading scorer was Courtney Wood. She had 23 points, 8 for 15 from the field, 6 for 7 from the free throw line, 4 steals in the game for her. As NIU out-rebounding Miami tonight, 44-31. RedHawks out-rebounding NIU offensively 10-9, but the Huskies picking up 35 defensive rebounds to Miami's 21. 8 assists each for both teams, 25 turnovers for the Huskies, 13 for Miami. And the points of the paint tonight dominated by the RedHawks, 38-22. They led that margin. As Miami will pick up conference win again, number 1 on the year, 66-64 over the Huskies of Northern Illinois tonight. So that'll do it for us here on RedHawk Radio this evening from Millett Hall. As our next sports broadcast comes your way Friday night, the Miami men's basketball team takes on Buffalo here at Millett Hall from Oxford. A 7 p.m. start for that one comes your way Friday night here on RedHawk Radio. RedHawks will take on a Buffalo team that made a run in the NCAA tournament last year and was nationally ranked for the majority of the season, also won the MAC championship. So that'll be a fun matchup, and hope to join us on Friday night for our next broadcast. Again, Friday, 7 p.m. against Buffalo men's basketball here at Millett Hall. And then after that, some hockey coming your way a couple weekends from now as the Rouse take on North Dakota. So the Miami women's basketball team with the first conference win of the year tonight. Again, your score, 66-64, the win over the Huskies of Northern Illinois. That'll do it for us this evening here from Millett Hall. For our entire RedHawk Radio crew, this is Patrick Geshan saying so long and good night from Oxford, Ohio. Miami, 66-64, your winners. This has been a presentation of Miami women's basketball on RedHawk Radio. Thanks so much for listening, everyone, and have a great night.